Hey everyone, it's me, VinBlue. Today, we're diving into something a little different but super exciting. FNAF TD has a total of 30 unique towers, each of its own strengths and weaknesses. But, have you ever wondered, how far can each tower make it in nightmare mode? Which one truly stands out when the pressure is on? Well, you're about to find out. This video is inspired by my good friend Kai, who gave me the idea, so shout out to him. We're going to test every tower to see how many waves they can survive in the most challenging mode. We'll start with the ones that struggle the most and work our way up to the ultimate champion, the tower that can survive the most waves without failing. I promise you, there are some surprising results in store. Also, before we dive in, if you like these kinds of videos, please consider subscribing. Your support means the world to me and helps me get the content coming. Without any further ado, let's jump into the Nightmare Mode Showdown. Alright, before we get into the results, I need to explain how this experiment will set up so it's fair for all the towers. Rule number 1, all towers will be tested on the show stage map and they will be placed in this exact same spot. This ensures that no tower gets an unfair advantage with positioning since, dead in the middle. Rule number 2, I'm only allowed to place one of each tower. This keeps things balanced, especially for the towers that have a placement limit of more than one. And the third rule is that I play with auto skip on, so the waves go faster, making the challenge harder, and we get to see which towers really have what it takes. And, it also speeds up the process of making the video, but now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into the actual rankings. Okay, so, the lowest wave any tower can reach is wave 6, because in Nightmare mode, you start with just 100 HP. And boy, some towers didn't stand a chance. Here's the towers that couldn't make it past wave 6. Flashlight Guard. The upgrade where she can actually deal damage is way too expensive, leaving her vulnerable early on. Price Corner. It doesn't do any damage at all. Health Inspector. He has healing abilities, but his damage and cooldown were too low to survive. Phone Guy. He also doesn't do any damage. Manager. I could play some, but by the time I did, it was already too late. Party Planner. The damage output is just too low. Pizza Chef. It's too expensive to be placed. Gregory. His damage is minimal and the spawns are super expensive after the nerf or buff. Whatever. Groundskeeper. He didn't do enough damage to be a real contender. Plush Vendor. Doesn't do any damage. Marketer. Same issue as Plush Vendor. Don't do damage. Jacko Bomber. Well, his stats sucks. Nope. No surprise he didn't last long. That was a lot of towers that couldn't make it past wave 6. Now, let's move on to the towers that actually made it further. And by further, I mean one wave. The following towers made it to wave 7. Night Guard. As a starter tower, it didn't come as a huge shock. Still, I was a little surprised that he made it one way further than all the other contenders. Cupcake Chef. The high cooldown really held it back. Mechanic. It took forever to spawn, so he couldn't keep up. Crying Child, low DPS meant he was quickly overwhelmed with the insane amounts of enemies. Foxy Fighter, too expensive to place early, which hurt its chances. Bowler, the cooldown was a disaster. And Adventure Party, which, again, is expensive to place on, which is a huge disadvantage in Nightmare mode. Honestly, I didn't expect Night Guard to make it as far as he did, but moving on. Wave 8 survivors. Only 2 of them made it to Wave 8. Paranormal Investigator, low DPS really hurt its survival rate, and Renovator, the small range meant it couldn't take down the enemies to survive. Alright, now we're at Wave 11. Pretty big jump. This is where hidden enemies start showing up, and a lot of towers don't have hidden detection, which was their downfall. The following towers that lost to Wave 11 because they didn't have hidden detection were Purple Guy, Prankster, Cashier, Janitor, Incinerator, and Rascal. Those pesky hidden enemies knocked out a lot of strong towers, but there's still a few of them that managed to bypass this point, leaving 3 of them. Taking the bronze medal by reaching wave 13 is Trash Gang. Despite my dislike for the tower, I have to admit, it's gotten a lot better. The only reason it lost was because of the Endo 01 enemy, which has a ton of health. For the silver medal, we got Survivor, reaching wave 16, which is wild. The burst damage and affordability made it a serious contender. It only lost because a massive swarm of enemies overwhelmed it, but it still did awesome. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, the tower that made it the furthest, surviving all the way to the wave 17 is arcade attendant. I did not expect this to be the results at all, but its impressive DPS, hidden detection, and range carried it through. Who would have thought, right? So, there you have it. What do you guys think? Did you predict the winner correctly, or did it surprise you too? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you need any help beating Nightmare Mode or any other challenge in FNAF, make sure to join the Discord. There are a lot of people who are happy to team up and help out. Links in the pinned comments and in the description below. Also, I'm super excited about the upcoming Halloween update, and I'll definitely be making a ton of content on that, so stay tuned. Thanks again for watching, and as always, for now, that's all, folks.